Hello, buenas tardes, or noches. We're in between. Anyways, my name's Carla Guiniga. I am the art gallery manager as well as the chair of the Public Art Advisory Group, and I want to welcome you all to this unveiling ceremony for this incredible work. We're calling it a digital mural because that's really what it is. And again, welcome to you all. And yeah, feel free to grab some food as we get started. And yeah, I'm super excited for this because we have finally a piece at PCC. And all of these things happen so quickly, and we're so happy that we were able to make this possible. Of course, thanks to the Public Art Advisory Group. If you are one of the members of the Public Art Advisory Group, please raise your hand so that you can be honored. Yes, right over there too. And we have some notable guests in our audience that are leaders here at LBCC, so we want to make sure we want to recognize them. Board President Vivian Malaulu. Yeah. Our Superintendent President, Dr. Mike Munoz. Our Associate Vice President of the Pacific Coast Campus, Alicia Kirkwood, and VP, Lee Douglas, and then we have Dean of Visual Performing Arts Cultural Programs, Dr. Janae Hund. Yay. And we also have a few classes, so thanks for coming. And most importantly, we have some of the members of the 3B Collective, who are the artists who are in the middle of a super important installation for a solo exhibition, and they're here. So 3B Collective, you could just raise your hand, and then we'll hear a little bit more about that. So I now want to just pass the microphone. Oh, and then we also have Nizgi and Miguel, who are members of the students, part of the Public Art Advisory Group. And Miguel actually designed the brochure that you're holding. So yeah, he's very talented. And then Nizgi worked on the writing. So if you're a student and want to get involved in this group, come talk to me after. But I just want to pass the microphone now to Shamanique Harris. So you can, yeah.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. My name is Shamanique Harris. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a student of LBCC, a president ambassador, and a social work major. Before we begin our festivity, we would like to share LBCC's land acknowledgement. Long Beach City College acknowledges our presence on the traditional ancestral land of the Gabrielina Tongva people. This remains unceded territory. We acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from this territory. Long Beach City College honors and respects the Gabrielina Tongva ancestors and their connection to this land. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Shamanique. And it's super important for this piece as we have actual reference to indigenous to a lot of indigenous references. So now I want to welcome our Superintendent President, Dr. Mike Munoz. Give him a warm welcome.
Can we get Carla and Shamanique a big round of applause? Amazing MCs. So first of all, I just want to start off with a lot of gratitude and appreciation. I want to thank everyone for being here. This is, I think, a really powerful and exciting day for the Pacific Coast campus. When I walked in and I saw this beautiful mural, I was really struck. Not just with the imagery, but the messages, and just kind of how profound it will be for the hundreds and thousands of students that will walk these halls over the next few decades. I want to start off by acknowledging our board president is here with us, Board President Vivian Malaulu. Thank you for taking the time to be here, along with the support of our Board of Trustees, and really, I think, providing a mandate to us as a community college family to really think about centering equity and putting public art on full display. You know, I want to just say a few things and share my own kind of personal experience with public art and murals. You know, art can be a very powerful conduit for students. It communicates messages, and I've shared this story before, but when I was a student at UC Irvine, I transferred to UC Irvine. Had a really rough transition. I went from a semester system to a quarter system. I moved into family housing with my young daughter. I was trying to potty train her at the same time. So just life was lifing, and I was stressed out. And I was really questioning whether I belonged at UCI, and I didn't always see myself, especially back in the early 2000s, there wasn't a lot of Latinos enrolled in four-year universities, at the UC system at least. And so I remember kind of questioning and thinking about dropping out, and I went and I sat down on a bench, and I happened to sit across a mural that had Cesar Chavez in it. And it really made me feel proud to be at UCI, and it made me feel like I belonged. And just those little messages that are sent to our students and communicate in those ways. I think Carla said it to me once, that our walls speak to our students, and what do our walls speak? What do we want our walls to say to them when they walk these halls? And so I appreciate the work that the LBCC Public Art Advisory Group has done. So let's give them a big round of applause. So as you know, we are embarking together on this journey, and so we did our first unveiling at the LAC campus a couple weeks ago for a mural, and now we're doing our second installation. And so I want to really acknowledge the work of this committee. We received a historic gift about 2 years ago, or actually up to the month, about 2 years ago, from the Mackenzie Scott funds, about $30 million. And a lot of folks were questioning, like, how are we going to leverage those dollars? And one of the things was to think differently and outside of the box. And so public art rose to the top as a priority for those funds. And so it's really nice, I think, 2 years later to see these efforts come full circle. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the artists. And I heard they're already working on an installation somewhere else, and so they took time to come away from that project to be here. So can I ask them to step forward for a moment, step into the light. This is your moment too. 3B Collective, for sharing your artistry with the Pacific Coast campus community. This is an incredible mural, and we are so grateful to have you all here. I'm sure they're going to have an opportunity to speak in the program. Yes, I'm looking at Carla. Yes, after our board president speaks, but I just wanted to say from the bottom of our heart and from our entire campus community, thank you for sharing your talents and your art with us. Thank you. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to invite up our board president to be able to say a few words. But I do want to go back, and I said this at the beginning, and I want to reiterate it. A lot of folks across the state and the country talk about the work we do here at Long Beach City College. They saw that we opened up a Black Student Success Center. We have these murals. We took a delegation to Cuba. We're going to send another delegation to Ghana this coming September. So there's a lot of work happening here at the college. And so folks will oftentimes say, like, how are you guys doing this? How do you, because this doesn't happen at all the other colleges. And I always say, our board has supported us to be able to do these things. So again, I want to acknowledge and extend my appreciation to the board, but let's invite up Board President Vivian Malulu to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Dr. Munoz. Good evening, all of you. Welcome, especially for any guests who've never been here before, to the Pacific Coast campus. It'll be known as the Pacific Coast campus for a few more months until we officially rename it the Long Beach City College Trade Tech and Community Learning Center campus. So it'll be a mouthful, but we've got plans for some abbreviations coming in there. I'm really excited to be here. The last few months at Long Beach City College have truly been sort of a renaissance when it comes to the arts. I love the murals. I love what's happening at LAC, and I especially love that we have this mural here at this campus. The reason why I love it more is because I represent this district. I represent trustee area 2, and this campus is in the heart of that trustee area. So I'm very proud of the work that you're seeing here. I am a spoken word and written word person. My entire life, I've always wished that I had been gifted in some sort of art. I wish that I could sing. I wish I could dance. I wish I could create things. I'm not artistic, but let me tell you, the one thing I've always done that I've never been good at, but I really wish I was art, this type of art. And when I see murals like this, I understand what Dr. Munoz is referring to. I understand what he says, how that sitting in front of that Cesar Chavez mural changed him, kind of reinforced his reason why he was there. Because when I see art like this and the different dimensions of it and the different colors and the different photographs, I see so many different things, and it's so interpretive. And there are so many ways that you can take an image and apply it to you and make it fit. And that's what makes me a little jealous, that I can't create that type of art. Trust me, if I had to sit here and pencil, stick figure draw things, you'd probably cry for me at my limits. But when I see this, I feel pretty good because I can interpret it and I can internalize it and I can use it any way I want. So, having said all of that, I just want to remind all of you that just 2 months ago, we celebrated our very first outdoor mural, and here we are today, 2 months later, seeing this wonderful unveiling, Rising Tides, Facing the Waves of Social and Environmental Change. This is our commitment to social justice for all, and it can't be on a better campus. The fact that it's here, so close to the port, in proximity to Pacific Coast Highway, in proximity to so many things happening. Just one direction, we've got the airport, another direction, we've got Orange County. This is the perfect place for us to kind of dig our heels in the sand and let the world know what we believe in and why we're supportive of our students and our community who appreciate this kind of art. Public art is so important, especially on a community college campus, not only for this community to enjoy and appreciate, but also because, as we heard, it inspires us, it enhances our amazing learning environment, and it goes so much further than just our regular classrooms. Thank you to our talented 3B Collective for sharing your talent with us. Thank you to Carla, Dr. Janae Hunt, our DEIA Public Art Advisory Group, Shamanique, our students, our professors, our instructors. Thank you all. We are very lucky to have you, and I can't wait for the next one. And this right here, this design is a piece of art. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy it. And could you please take a picture, hashtag it, share it on social media. Let's have a movement. Let's say, come by and take a picture with it yourself and tag it. Let me see how many hits we get on that. Let's send a challenge out and say, look, in the first week, let's see how many hits this public mural can get. So let's get that going so we can get more people involved. And then, where will the next one be? Thank you and enjoy tonight.
Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to have you all here on the campus. It really is warming to my heart. I had the opportunity to meet our wonderful artists, and so to see it come to fruition on the wall, it's amazing. For me, as has been stated, art truly inspires. It really calms, it informs, it educates, it does so much. And so I just wrote a few brief words because this really is a special moment. As the Associate Vice President here at this campus, I take great pride in representing this campus. And when I first saw this piece, it deeply spoke to my soul for a multitude of reasons. Because for me, this piece, it evokes strength, pride, ancestry, responsibility, and community. And it's a beautiful visual representation of a collective consciousness, which is important for an equitable and a caring society. And so we really want this campus to be that for the folks in which call it home as employees, as well as for our students. We want them to know that they matter here, they're welcome here, and that we will advocate for them and the greater community and society as well. And so once again, thank you to our collective of artists. I've already had so many conversations. Literally, I had a faculty person tell me earlier, believe it or not, that the woman right there, he saw me. Right. I was like, oh, she looks good. So thank you for that. But I encourage you also to really look at the nuances. There are so many images within the image, and it is telling so many stories, and it is really the experiences of our people, of our community, and of the collective. So thank you all for being here, and please don't be strangers. We want to see you often, and we're here if you need us. Thank you, and I'll bring Carla back up.
All right, so now we really want to hear from the artist. So, and thank you again to President Mike Munoz, and to Alicia and to Vivian for your remarks and for being here, and also for your leadership, for allowing us to bring this to campus and for giving us the funding. It's super important. So 3B Collective is a group of Indigenous and Chicano artists committed to creating public artworks that focus solely on social justice and environmental issues. 3B Collective has worked on several site-specific installations through different institutions, including UCLA, UCSD, El Museo Infantil in Oaxaca, LAX Art, The Mistake Room, the Hammer Museum, LACE, La Plaza de Arte Cultura, the Los Angeles County Department of Art and Culture, the City of Inglewood, San Diego City College, Cerritos College, and now LBCC. And I actually saw your guys' mural in Oaxaca, like when I was on my way to these serendipitous moments. I remember we were going to Mitla, to the Zapotec ruins, and I remember we were waiting in traffic, and I just saw this incredible mural, just like while we were just waiting in traffic. And now, once I saw the image, I was like, oh my gosh, I saw it. I saw it in Mexico, which is amazing. So I just want to welcome, I don't know who's going to speak or if you all want to say a few words, but we have Oscar and Alexa and Fredo Diaz here to speak a little bit about all of you. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and I also want to mention that they are, again, in the middle of an installation. They are opening an exhibition at the Craft Contemporary, which is across the street from LACMA. They're opening their show next week. So they should also tell us a little bit about that. But they're in the middle of a big exhibition installation, and they took time to be here. So please tell us more.
Thank you, everybody. Okay. So, first of all, thank you. I'm going to speak a little bit about what 3B Collective is, how we started and what we are, and then I'm going to hand it over to Oscar to kind of, explain a little bit about the design in the mural. But we started back in, 2016 as a group of friends from art school that were kind of looking for a way to support each other, to kind of back each other up and kind of get ready for, what the world threw at us as artists. And as someone who spent 8 years in City College, working full-time jobs and getting through the grind and, transferring and, getting, my undergraduate degree and my master's after that, I know what a campus like this means to a lot of people. And so it means a lot for me to, be able to give back to a campus like this because it nurtures a lot of, people who are looking for, second, third, maybe even their first chance. So, I just want to acknowledge that it's, I think everyone from the collective sort of is connected to these sort of campuses, and we always strive to sort of place our work in these sort of contexts because it's important, it's important to protect work like this, and it's important to sort of acknowledge and have these statements and, to have people see each other, when they look at our work, to see themselves in it, everyone who passes by it, so I think the collective, we've done a good job at, sort of keeping ourselves together and, making sure that we hold each other accountable for ourselves. And so, once again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to be a part of your campus, and so I want to just hand it over to Oscar to kind of just break down a little bit of the mural.
I do want to mention that he went to Yale for his MFA. So, yeah, which isn't coming from a community college. I think that we all know how difficult it is for somebody from South LA with a background, spending 8 years or whatever it is in community college. It's very difficult to be able to do that. And I think we all, as a collective, understand how difficult it is to maneuver institutions, especially state institutions, and that's something that we always talk about because we have to look at, and especially now unfortunately with everything that's going on with the protests, we see the other side, the other state institution coming in and those two intersecting, which is something that we've always known in different parts, different communities, right? We understand the heavy hand of being criminalized and being tracked into pretty much those other state institutions. And so we thought it was important to work as a collective to be able to speak about those things. and to also honor the art that we've always had in our community hasn't been acknowledged. So the show that we have opening up next week is at the Craft Museum, the Craft Contemporary, which is important because it's changed its name recently, where it was the Craft and Folk Art Museum. And so when it comes to art and education, that was coded racism, like institutional racism. And so for us to be able to say, no, our traditions aren't a burden. It's something that we build upon. It's something that's very important, like mural painting, that's been whitewashed because of gentrification and so many different things, in the process of development, right? Or urban renewal, all these different things that have, in hindsight, been very racist, redlining, all these different things. And I know it's pretty heavy, but at that point, it's thinking about artwork as also a mnemonic device, right? Something that could collapse time into itself, and we could look at different times, different eras, and understand how did we get here, right? Because if we look at the past differently, and this is something I'd like to say, if we can understand the past differently, we understand the present different. And if we change that, then we could change the future. And that's something that I always like to think about when it comes to artwork. Well, thank you again for everything. Would you like to say anything?
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody dressed up our way. We literally were shipping artwork.
Thank you for telling us more about the artwork from 3B Collective. This is really awesome, and as a student of Long Beach City College, I am a native from my home country in Jamaica as well, so seeing this art make me feel more at home, and all the arts that are coming on campus, I'm looking forward for more. To close off our ceremony, we have 2 LBCC students who will be reading poems. The first is Alexander Vega, who is a jazz studies student. Alexander is also a member of the Native American Indigenous Collaborative, Pride Scholar, and EOPS. The second student is Tori Elston Moore. He has returned to LBCC to study acting, and he finished his bachelor's degree in performance studies and technical theater from UC Berkeley. All right, I'll have them both come up here now to read their poems for you guys. All right.
Hello, good evening. I'd like to thank 3B Collective for their work, their art, and for allowing me to speak on it as well. Thank you. This is a poem I wrote for this piece. It's entitled The Tides of Time. The tide always rises. Even in the lowest ebbs of hatred, the tide always rises. When the waves of life's journey leave you high and dry on the shore, be sure that the tide always rises. Our history is made of coastlines of love and compassion because the tide always rises. Oppressive beachheads left in the sands of humanity's subconscious will be reclaimed by the seas of justice, who are fed by rivers of hope because the tide always rises. I smile hearing the ocean gently embrace the defiant, hardened land, knowing that the tide always rises. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I was asked by Dr. Hun if I wanted to read a poem for this event, and it kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but kind of very quickly, Khalil Gibran jumped in my head, and his work, The Prophet, is one of my favorite works of all time, and he has so many wise things to say. And for some reason, teaching jumped into my head. Obviously, we're at an institution of higher learning, where people, find new paths out into the world. And so I myself come from a family that is 3 generations prior who have all been educators. And so education and getting an education has always been something that has been instilled in me as a pathway to liberation. And so I thought I will read Khalil Gibran's poem on teaching from the prophet. Then said a teacher, "Speak to us of teaching." And he said, "No man can reveal to you aught but which already lies half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge. The teacher who walks in the shadow of the temple among their followers gives not of his wisdom, but rather of her faith and their lovingness. If he is indeed wise, she does not bid you enter the house of their wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your own mind. The astronomer may speak to you of their understanding of space, but he cannot give you her understanding. The musician may sing to you of the rhythm that is in all space, but they cannot give you the ear which arrests the rhythm, nor the voice that echoes it. And she, who is versed in the science of numbers, can tell you of the regions of weight and measure, but he cannot conduct you thither. For the vision of one lends not its wings to another. And even as each of you stand alone in God's knowledge, so must each one of you, alone in your knowledge of God and in your understanding of the earth." Thank you.
Thank you again to Alex and Tori. And we just want to say thanks to a few people who helped put this together. We want to thank Bob Hirsch and his students from Radio TV who are recording this. Again, all of our speakers, also Vicki Lurch, who helped put this program together. Yeah. And then, obviously, 3B Collective for being here. All the members of the Public Art Advisory Group, including, Miguel and Nizgi, who helps work on the brochure, and then Sarah Viewer, who's not here. And we also would like to thank Stacy Toda, Aaron Murphy, Dr. Tracy Carmichael, and LBCC Facilities, who were so important. Yes. Including Cheryl, of course, who helped us a lot. And then Jerome, who's taking pictures, who is also a member. Yeah. And Shamanique for helping MC, and you're just gonna say our final things.
All right, everyone. Thank you all for coming to our celebration, and please enjoy the food. Remember to take some pictures before you guys leave, and remember to post on social media. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening.